It's time to mind your business with me, Jamillah Lodge. Tune in to find out how to mind your business with BEDC, special guest entrepreneurs, industry experts, and more. Brought to you by BEDC. Bermuda Business starts here. Hello, ladies. Welcome to Mind Your Business. Of course, you know me. I'm Jamillah, your host. And today we're going to be talking with you, Shalini Johnstone, about our Commercial Kitchens program. And then you have with you a participant in the program, Andresa Tucker, who owns Aspire Bermuda. So we're going to get into it, but I'm going to start with you, Shalini. And can you tell me a bit about yourself first, and then we'll get into the Commercial Kitchens program.
Yeah, my name is Shalini Johnstone. I just started recently at the BEDC in April. I'm the Underutilized Commercial Kitchens manager here. Prior to that, I owned Angelina's Cafe for 13 years, but it was time for me to do something different with my life, take a different path, and so now I'm here. I had worked alongside the BEDC doing a few things over the years, like, you know, the women's entrepreneurship panel I spoke on and stuff, so yeah.
It's a natural transition.
I guess so.
So welcome to the team. I do miss Angelini, so by the way. I love those little sandwiches.
I get that.
So the commercial kitchens program, can you talk a little bit about that? What it is, how it started, that sort of thing?
Yeah, so it's the Underutilized Commercial Kitchens program for community users. Okay. And what it is we want to provide affordable and quality work environment for budding entrepreneurs, people who are trying to expand their businesses. All at the same time, we're trying to provide a revenue stream for people who have underutilized commercial kitchens. So I think I'm kind of like a matchmaker.
I love that. I mean, it's true. You know, prior to this program starting, people would always come who are starting up businesses. They want to cook food or prepare food. And they're like, but I just need a space. I don't want to open a restaurant. I just need some place to prepare my food safely, right? So it's actually great, I think, that we have actually been able to start this program. Now, I know most programs and most things that get started have challenges. Can you talk a little bit about some of the challenges you experienced working in the program and kind of how you mitigated those?
Well, I am new to this program, so there was a whole bunch of research and work that went into it before I came on board. But I think with any, like you said, of any program, education and getting the word out is always a challenge. And also getting people to be involved in something new. Yeah. Because Bermudians, we don't really like to be involved in things that are new. So people are like, oh, what's this project? Like, what is this program? I don't fully understand it. So I think just the education of it all. And getting people to want to participate. Yeah.
And hopefully this medium will get the word out. Yes. Now, you talked about being a matchmaker, right? So there's two parts, right? There's the person that wants to be matched, and then there's a potential match. So can you talk about those two? Like, in that scenario, who are the matcher and the matchee?
So it really just depends, I guess. So people would reach out to us. Okay. We have the website. Or they can call me, and then they just say they want to be a part of the program. We create a profile for them within the program, listing the dates. If they are the kitchen owner, listing the times that are available for them for it to be rented, and if they're the tenant, then the times that they need, the size kitchen they need, the equipment they need, and then I just kind of put them together. I don't know if that answers your question.
Yeah, it does. I guess what I'm trying to understand is that you actually are doing both parts. So you're like the middleman, but people who have kitchens.
Ideally, we get more people reaching out to us who have kitchens, because currently we have more people who are interested in kitchens than actual kitchens. There's also a whole process behind that, because they have to be approved by the health department and stuff like that. So I am doing both sides. People both sides of this, they're coming to me.
Okay. Yeah. So in an ideal world, people who have underutilized kitchens, like they have the kitchen, they're just not using it, we'll reach out and say, hey, got this kitchen. Yes. And then the person who needs the kitchen, like Andresa, would say, hey, I need a kitchen.
Yes. I'll be like, oh, you're doing perfect for each other.
I love it. So I'm going to jump in and ask you a question, Andresa. So first of all, we knew each other, right? Yes. In another life.
For a while. Mm-hmm.
Right?
Another life.
Back in the day, I don't even want to date myself. People be like, what? I didn't know she was out.
Back in the day, yeah. been a while.
Yeah, it has been. So what kind of drew you to starting your own business where you would need a kitchen?
Listen, so this has been a journey for me, an unexpected journey, which all happened in a coffee shop. One of my good friends who's in the insurance industry with me, basically we worked together at the time, so we would meet for coffee every day and just chat. And one day he said to me, you need to have your own business. And I'm thinking, I'm good. I'm fine. Don't need a business. I'm good. He's like, no, you need to think about it. So I started to just think, what could I do? What am I good at? And I started thinking about the cooking because I was on this kind of fitness journey.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, maybe I could do the cooking. And I asked my trainer, what did he think? And he thought it was a good idea because he's had my food before. He thought it was a great idea. So literally just before the pandemic started, I just started to put a few things together for just a few people, just to get a feeler out there. And it seemed to go really well. And I was like, okay, maybe I will do something like this. And at that time, I must admit, my kind of umbrella was called Be Healthy because that was kind of what I was into, just the healthy meals.
Right.
Just kind of programs for people and different things like that. Then the pandemic came.
Right.
And that was that. So, interesting enough, it still stuck with me. The idea still stuck with me and said, you know, I really need to do something, but what is it should I do? What path should I take? So I literally sat down and wrote a whole business plan and didn't even know what I was doing. And didn't even know what was happening. It was just like writing. And then my dad, both of my parents are kind of, I want to say, hoteliers, hospitality people. My mom and my dad both went to the Bermuda College back when it was hotel school.
Yes, yeah.
So my dad, my mom too, like, oh, you don't cook, why don't you cook? And I'm like, I don't want to do any of that. So, fast forward, I did my business plan and didn't want the name I had before, and I wanted something that was more sustainable because I was thinking, I don't know where this is going to go.
That's right.
So I called my trusty dad, and I'm like, Dad, I need a name. And he's like, give me all these names. I'm like, no, I just want one word.
Right.
One word.
That literally
like
will encompass wherever this is going to take me.
Right.
And so that's how Aspire was born.
I love that story.
Yes.
I love that story.
Yes.
So for you, when starting that business, obviously, as we mentioned, you needed a kitchen.
Yes. So I think I called you, Jamillah.
I
was like, hi, Jamillah. So it all started because I didn't know I needed a kitchen.
Right, okay.
So the health department, I spoke to them and they said, what are you going to be doing? And I explained to them how I was going to be doing, what I was going to be doing. And they said, you need a commercial kitchen. I'm like, well, how do I do that?
Right, what is that?
Where do I get one?
Yeah.
And why can't, and then, friends of mine were like, well, just turn your kitchen into a commercial kitchen. Like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like, they're saying I need a space,
right,
not in my home.
Right.
So, there's the journey. And then I reached out to you, and I'm like, I need a kitchen. What do I do? I don't know what to do. And you're like, I think they're doing this program at BEDC. Let me put you in with the right people. Then I met William.
Yes.
And this has been a journey.
Yes.
Because it's been 2 years. And I would tell anyone that if you have something that's really deep in your heart that you want to do and you can't get rid of it, it keeps on coming back, just stick with it, because even though it doesn't happen right away, it's been lots of speed bumps.
Yes.
But with the speed bumps, I always knew that something was happening.
Right. So progress was being made.
Progress was being made. It was never...
Even if they were baby steps.
Yeah, baby steps. But it was never at a standstill. It was never, like, I was keeping in contact with William. He was telling me. Then it was like, okay, you're at the top of our list. And then I was like, he's like, okay, I need something from you. I'm like, I have it. Like, here. I had everything ready. And then we met as a team. And then it was, this kitchen, that kitchen. And I was looking for something more central. So, different things were happening. Even to be honest, I even kind of not gave up, but I was kind of like,
maybe it's not.
Someone had said to me, "Oh, I have a kitchen," blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, and I had called in. I'm like, "I'm good,"
Yeah.
and then it wasn't good.
Right.
And I'm like, he's like, "What are you doing to me? You're at the top of the list." I'm like, "I'm so sorry." I'm like, "Please help me." He's like, "When do you need it again?" I'm like, "This day." He's like, "Okay, I'll call you back." And he came through.
Okay.
He literally came through, and like I said, it's been bumps
in the road. Yeah.
But everything that's worth it, the bumps has created what is happening now. So
that's awesome.
It makes you stronger.
It does make you stronger.
It does.
You'll be able to do anything after this.
Yeah, for sure.
So I want to talk a little bit about the process, right? Mm-hmm. So like Andresa said, she reached out to William, who manages the overarching program under the Economic and Cooperative Development Unit mm-hmm. within BEDC. But so for someone who's interested, right? Like, can you take me through the process of what they would have to do to actually get put on the list to secure one of the kitchens?
Yeah, so first they would reach out to us, like I mentioned before, either through the website or however. They would have to fill out the application form. Well, first, actually, ideally, we call them and have a conversation with them. Because mm-hmm. sometimes people are trying to do certain things that it's not part of the program.
Okay.
But, so we decide, yes, that's something that we can facilitate. Okay, and then we send them a user application form, and then they'll fill it out, which is just a little bit more detailed, asking specific questions as to are you making jams, or are you making this kind of thing? Does it require this kind of process? And then we take that and we review it, and then we basically look at their criteria and the kitchens that we have available. Mm-hmm. They also, at that point, once we match them with a kitchen, if they don't already have a food license, then they can apply to get a food license, because when you're applying for a food license, you have to say that you have a commercial kitchen.
Right.
So once we've matched you, so Andresa can, after we matched her, she can then apply for a food license with the name of the commercial kitchen that she has on.
Got you.
But that's why it's important to have one, because then you don't get granted a food license. And then after that, it's all about signing the lease with the landlord, and building that relationship, and that's kind of basically it. There's a lot of little steps in between.
Yeah,
those are the bigger steps.
So in terms of partnering with other departments to actually get this done, does BEDC or does your department interface with environmental health to help them get the food license? How does that?
Yeah, so first of all the kitchens are approved by the health department. So we have a list of kitchens that we are still sending to the health department to be approved.
Okay.
But all the ones that we have ready to go, they've been approved by them. So that's good. And then we do work alongside the health department, their inspectors, because they have to go in and say that this kitchen is approved, and then they also have to approve the license for the tenant.
Okay.
So we do work very closely with the Department of Health.
The other thing I wanted to ask you is, you mentioned the type of things, you might speak with someone and be like, yeah, we're not doing that. What are the kind of things that are acceptable or sanctionable for the kitchens? I didn't even know that was a thing. I'm like, if it's a commercial kitchen.
We've had a few people who are interested in doing food, but for non-human consumption.
Oh, for pets
animals and stuff.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure how the regulation will be a little bit different, because especially if you are sharing a kitchen with somebody else.
Yes.
So that would be something that they would have to have their own kitchen by themselves, and then also the landlord would have to be okay with them doing that in their kitchen as well.
Okay.
So that's kind of it. I guess also if they were doing some kind of edibles.
We're not there yet, y'all.
I've mentioned that, and I'm like, well,
not yet.
I don't know. So that's kind of those would be the two things.
Be legal, right?
Those would be the two things that stick out mostly in my mind as the things that we're not going to be doing as of yet.
Right, it has to be
I was like,
legal.
she's going to ask me that question. I knew she's going to ask me that question.
Because I think it's good for people to know, right, as they're making application, because you think, okay, I just need some place to cook this. What I'm cooking is of none of your business.
Yes,
but
no, it is of our business.
Right. And
especially if you're saying you came through the BEDC to get this kitchen, then
right.
Don't get me in trouble with the BEDC. I just started.
But also the fact you mentioned that in addition to having the commercial kitchen, which is licensed, you also, as an individual, as an entrepreneur, have to have a license to cook and prepare the food. So can you talk about that process and what you have to do?
Yeah, so the process can be straightforward.
Yeah.
But so you have the application. Mm-hmm. Sometimes the application isn't that clear.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, the categories aren't that clear. So I didn't consider myself a caterer.
Got you.
But because I'm making food and people are collecting it, they consider that as a caterer.
As opposed to making food for people to order, like,
right.
Right.
So,
that kind of thing.
yeah, so they were like, well, is it a restaurant? Like, and I'm like, no, I'm actually it's pre-order, but so I had to explain.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be very detailed
Got
in
you.
how you're explaining what you're doing. They want very, very detailed information so that they can charge you the right
I was going to
fee.
say,
Yeah.
it's a different price, a different cost depending on what you're doing. So if she was in there solely prepping, I think, not actually cooking, then that would be a different fee for,
Got you.
for you know.
Yeah.
So there's people who have stalls at, like, say, Harbor Nights or something like that, where they just need a prep kitchen.
Yes.
Which that'll be a different fee altogether, because then they're paying also for their stall.
Right.
So, but you're cooking in the space.
So you have to be very specific, and that's what they ask. Be very, very specific. Even I find that, like, I was very general in what I was doing.
Yeah.
You know, I'm cooking meat, I'm veggies. Blah,
Yeah,
blah.
yeah.
And they were like, well, can you be more specific? And I'm like, you want to know exactly what I'm cooking? So they want very, very detailed information to give you a license.
Okay.
And then once you send in that license, then there's a process. I'm really not sure what that process is, but it does take a while to actually get a license.
Actual
now,
license.
For me, the actual inspector came in to the space where I was going to be utilizing. The interesting part about it is I wasn't aware that I needed to actually have stuff there. I was figuring I just need to tell you what I'm doing, and then you're going to give me my license.
Yes.
And then obviously you're going to come in and you're going to inspect at some point.
Right.
And, you know, if I'm not doing what you think I should be doing, then I get written out, whatever it goes. But this particular inspector wanted stuff there. So that was kind of, it was a learning experience to understand exactly what
was
needed
required.
To happen.
Yeah.
And I just think if I were to do it all again, I would basically, when I sent in my application, would be, you know, if BEDC didn't have the information, it was just basically like, I'm sending in my application.
Yes.
This is the kitchen that I'm going to be using. Is there anything that I need to provide the inspector to get my license?
At the same time, she's one of the first people we've placed, so she's kind of our guinea pig.
Sorry.
So I was
thank you. It's learning, right? It's like, okay, if I tell somebody else, this is what I would be like, find out, like, what do you need? Because, you know, you get there, and, I mean, we were there, and she's like, so where's your stuff?
Yeah, because she wasn't moving in until, like, a few weeks later.
So it was just a learning experience of what is expected.
Because you could have pushed back that date when you actually were in it.
But it's all learning, right?
That's right.
It's all little bits
and that's why we're here. So you
it's
can tell
all a
the
journey.
people.
It's definitely a journey of learning and understanding what is expected of both parties. Or all three parties.
Yeah. So talking about the actual program, I understand why, because there was obviously a demand and a need, and you mentioned that there had been research to kind of identify that there was a need. And I know personally.
I was going to say, because you said she reached out to you.
Yeah,
and there was a lot more people asking about potential commercial kitchen.
All the time. Because not everybody wants to open a restaurant, but they have this passion. They like making whatever it is.
And a restaurant has a big overhead, right? You need staff, and you need not equipment, but like tables and chairs and decorations. And
all of that.
That kind of thing. So if you just want to go in and cook because that's what you love to do, then this is a good option.
So talk to me a little bit about the rental process. So is everybody like a sublet leasee of the actual space, or how does it work?
Right. So there's two I guess avenues of this. So some locations are leased by the BEDC, and then we sublease it to the tenants.
Okay.
Some people have the landlords want to have a direct relationship with the tenants. They want to organize the lease and have the payment go like directly to them. So it just really depends on what the landlord wants.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in a scenario like that, where the relationship is going to be between the landlord and the person looking for the kitchen, is it that BDC vets them first before they kind of?
Yeah, so we've done the whole process of, like I said, all the paperwork and what exactly they're going to be doing, so that kind of the landlord doesn't really have to deal with that part. We go in, we say this is what they're going to be utilizing your kitchen space for, but then they come up with the pricing and the rent themselves and negotiate the lease themselves. So we do part of the work, and like we basically match make them.
You say
together.
match them. Be like, there you go.
Yes.
Tell us how your first
With
date
the bow on
went.
top.
So, in terms of, so if I compare this to like other parts of the world, right, in the States especially, they have these cloud kitchens where essentially people are like, never mind this restaurant business anymore. I'm just gonna have this my little kitchen. I'm gonna do my thing here, and you have like 5, 6, 7, 8 cubicles like this where everybody is renting that space, which makes sense, especially remember the pandemic. Restaurants were closed.
That's
like,
right.
how can I still make money when I can't have people in my establishment?
And you can't afford the overhead.
Exactly. So I could still get my sandwiches from D'Angelini's if. So the question is, do you think that there's any chance that this program will move in that direction?
I mean, that would be great. I think growth in any direction would be good for this program because we are still quite small, I think, and not a lot of people know.
Yeah.
That is going to be something, if it's through the BEDC, having our own commercial kitchen that we can rent out. I would love for that to happen and to be like a part of that and facilitate that. That's obviously my background and my love is in hospitality and in kitchens and in small businesses. So having multiple people work out of one space, like, and they're not kind of have another landlord, like we're the landlord. I think that would be ideal because that kind of cuts one person out.
Yeah.
And that just like streamlines it just a little bit more because we're facilitating it, plus we're the landlords.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And you gotta love small businesses, especially right now, right? So,
Yes. And we need them, right?
Yeah.
People were still hungry during the pandemic, but they couldn't go nowhere. Right. Remember when we was on lockdown?
Or when we finally, like, curfew finally lifted and I would go to the coffee shop early in the morning, there'd be like a line outside before I even got there. And I'm just like, let me get inside first and then turn the lights on and stuff. So
people were like, please.
People just wanted to be outside.
They did.
Wanted to be outside.
Yeah.
They were like, we're in the streets.
Yeah.
So, Andresa, talk to me about Aspire. And like you were mentioning a little bit about the meals and what you do, but can you give us an overview, like what it is, what people need to do if they wanted to take advantage of your services?
So Aspire, we're doing meals, and we're doing different kinds of meals to try to reach the masses.
Okay.
Because not everyone is a health freak. Not everyone likes to eat junk, right? So I'm finding a middle ground for how I'm creating the meals. So I've gone kind of like revamped the whole situation from what I was doing before. So I have a section which is called Heartbeat, and that is healthy meals. And I've labeled the carbs and the protein and the fats and the calories.
Oh, yeah.
So that is Heartbeat. So people that are in the gym, people that are very health conscious, for whatever reason, they can kind of look at that menu, know where they're at, and kind of pick and choose what they like. Then I have another section which is called Taste of Home.
Okay.
So that is more reflection of Bermuda cuisine or what people enjoy eating. I don't care if it's spaghetti and meatballs. But that's your fave. That's what you like. That's a taste of home comfort food. Then I have another section which is called Connection Sunday. Now, Connection Sunday is a slightly larger portion, but it's geared to families. It's geared to couples who may work all week, and the last thing they want to do is cook on a Sunday. Right? They want to spend time with their families, hence Connection Sunday. And you literally, it's like your roasts and different things that you would probably prepare.
Oh, so you cooking
on a Sunday,
She cooking,
right?
cooking.
And you have your meal prepared for you. So those are the 3 sections to try to reach people. And literally, I am on Instagram.
Yes.
My handle is A2InspireU on Instagram. And also, they can reach me by WhatsApp. My cell number is 533-0450. And those are the 2 ways to meet me. And just so you know, how I'm revamping it now is every Sunday by 7 p.m., you'll get a new menu.
Oh, cool.
And there is a new menu every week. So if you got something week 1, and you're looking for that on week 2, you're not going to get it.
Yeah.
It's a new
Too bad.
menu.
I know. Too bad. So
You
sad.
lost out. I'm
Don't
sorry.
have a favorite.
But I
that's
must
good,
admit
that's good.
that 4 weeks, every 4 weeks, it's going to be the fave. So it's going to be
Yeah,
the
I
fave
would-
menu.
yes,
okay.
yes,
And
yes.
that would be like from the past 3 weeks or whatever. That's
Which
going to be your
ones?
favorites.
Yes, yeah.
Because people are looking for different things this week, and I'm like, nope, sorry. And so that's just how.
But that's
how
good
it
how
is,
you're
yeah.
building a following and people
Yeah.
are starting to like what
Yeah, so
you're
I mean,
doing.
I did week 1. So week 1, yay, was bananas, but it was great. Literally bananas. But I appreciate everyone that is supporting me because I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful because Shalini reached out to me, for this podcast just to get my name out, and I'm very excited. Different people have asked me. One of my church family has asked me, we want to do a fundraiser, we want to put your name out there. So I don't know where this is going.
Yeah.
So any feedback when people are ordering from me, I appreciate it. It gives me butterflies just thinking about it. So I'm into week 2.
That is so
Yeah,
it's
so I'm
working.
into week 2, and I'm very excited. So my menu went out. I got more of a following.
Yeah.
So it's exciting.
It is exciting.
It's so exciting.
And look, we're being a part of that. Like, we're involved in that. And I think it's important for people to hear that it can work, right? Sometimes it might take a little while, because there are things that sometimes are out of our control, I think. But if you stick to it, like what you said, then there is an opportunity for it to be wildly successful. So we're wishing you all the best.
Thank you.
I'm going to have to hit you up because you are absolutely right. When you have a family, you're like, I don't feel like cooking or anything.
Yeah.
So do you do your meals for the week? Or
So,
how do you do
funny
it?
that you asked me that. I had a customer ask me, "Is this a week's worth of food?"
Right.
And I said, "It's not really planned a week's worth of food. It's literally if you see something, for example, like I had on my menu the other day, lamb of scalloped potatoes and vegetables. If you love lamb and that's what you want that week, you can order 5 lambs if you want to,
Right.
and you're gonna eat lamb every single day.
Right.
It's up to the individual. You can mix and match. You can order 1 thing. You can order 2 things. You can order 7 things. Like, it's totally up to you what you want to order, how you want to have
Put
your
them
meals
together.
for the week.
Okay.
I've had people saying, I'm ordering everything because I have all my meals for the week.
Right.
And I'm done.
Yes.
And when I come home from work, I have nothing to do but warm it up.
Yep.
I have one customer who says, I get your stuff, I throw it in the freezer,
Yep.
and I have it, and I just take it out as I need it, and I'm ready for the week.
Yeah.
So it just depends on your lifestyle, depends on where you find. You might feel like, I know, for example, I get home late Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So I'm going to need meals prepared.
Right.
Or at least prepared for my family. Or you could say, I'm traveling, but I'm leaving my family behind. I'm the one who normally does all the cooking. I can seek Andresa out to get the meals for my family for the week. And I have picky eaters, but I look on your menu and it's like, oh, so I'll just get 5 chickens because I know they're all going to eat the chicken.
Right.
And it's going to be great. And they'll have their meals for the week while I'm traveling. So it just depends on the lifestyle, depends on what you're looking for. But like I said, it's a diverse menu so that everyone can have their pick and choose of what they like.
All right, I hear you. I see you. So what is the future like for you? So yes, you're sharing the kitchen, or you're
Yes.
using the kitchens through the program.
Yes.
But is that something you want to continue to do, or how do you see Aspire growing?
So my dream is to have the kitchen for my own kitchen.
Yes.
To come and go as I please. But also my ultimate is to have a cafe.
Okay.
Now, a cafe where I'm still serving the kinds of foods, but I want it to have a feel like how Chew Stick used to be.
Yeah.
People come in with spoken word.
Love that.
And like jazz, or having Shine Hayward there.
Yeah.
Like really adult kind of like, and have like little tapas or little appetizers where you don't really have to have food. But if you so choose, you can still order from the menu, you can still take it out, or you can have it there, but literally set up in a way where it's not really restaurant, but literally the food is there, you can take it, You have an area here. You can
Like a
warm
cafe
it up.
at
Yeah.
And like a cafe lounge.
Mm-hmm.
But there also will be people on staff. So if you choose to kind of sit in, we could say, "Are you sitting in?" And they will give you like they can plate it for you.
Yeah.
All pretty. You can sit down, eat a bar, like just so people can come somewhere where it's adult, relaxed, and aspire to whatever it is that they might be trying to achieve in their own lives.
Okay.
So that's kind of where
What's
I'm
that?
headed.
What's that? The 5-year plan?
You know what? The thing about it is, I'm saying to myself, like, I started doing some numbers.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, I need this many clients or at least this many meals, blah, blah. My girlfriend's like, oh my God, it's week 2. You're halfway there. I'm like, ah! So I'm like, every so often I'm sending her this like gift that's like this crazy person. She's like, what happened today? I'm like, ah. But it's really, really going really well.
Yes.
And I just don't know. I don't know.
You don't know
where this journey is taking me, but that's kind of my ultimate.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I said to my daughter, I'm like, this is going to be your business one day. Is it going to make money? She said.
I know that's
I'm
right.
Like, yes.
Listen.
Okay, well that's fine. You can put my name to it, but I just don't know. I want it to be a name where people say, "Have you been to Aspire lately?"
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want.
Okay. Well, you sounds like you're well on your way. That sounds really, really, really great. So, Shalini, in terms of the Commercial Kitchens program, how many kitchens do you currently have available?
There's 5.
Okay.
And there's multiple tenants in each space. Actually, yeah, there's 5, yeah.
Okay.
So then there's a list of ones that we are trying to, that is for the health department to approve.
So is there any cap on the number of kitchens that you think you can manage, or is this like a call out? Like,
no, this is a call out.
Okay.
I'm joking. I think so right now we have a lot of like sports clubs and people who do have underutilized kitchens, but I think there is a potential to reach out into the restaurant market as well, because restaurants do have downtimes and down days. I do think the issue there is that restaurants, when they want to rent out their restaurant, they want to rent out the whole space.
Yes.
So they want to do the seating area,
Yeah.
There could be a revenue stream of just renting out the kitchen,
Yeah.
but I guess it's a little bit trickier when you have one person coming in and then you have your whole team of people coming in on other days.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yes, it's a call out. I would love to have more kitchens involved in the program.
Yeah, I think there's huge opportunity. You know, you walk around town and you see all these vacant spaces, and I'm like, would they consider, at least you're getting something, right? As opposed to it just being there empty. And surely, especially like you said, you're looking for a central location. That was the theme that we kept hearing. People like, I need it to be central so that people can access me or I can get to it quickly. So if y'all listening,
Come on.
call Shalini.
I'll be with my
She's trying to help you guys out. So how do they get in contact? Can you share like the contact details?
Yeah. So on the website, there's going to be a page just for the Commercial Kitchens program. That's the BEDC.bm. And then it has all the information there. It's going to have the forms to fill out and everything. Or you could, and my email address is going to be on there as well, but my email address is sjohnston with an E, JOHNSTONE at BEDC.bm.
Perfect.
So,
Perfect.
yeah.
And just to reiterate how people can get in touch with you to order these delicious
You can
meals.
order directly on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram at A2InspireU, or I can be reached on WhatsApp at 533-0450.
Okay, now I'm going to ask you both a question to end this. So what would you say to someone, both of you, because you're both entrepreneurs, who is on the fence? They just are not sure if they should do it, scared of failure. What do you say to them? Do you encourage them, or do you be like, don't do it?
So for me, it would be, if it keeps on knocking at your door, you keep on hearing that I need to do it, you need to do it.
Right.
You don't know how it's going to turn out unless you do it.
Right.
So just do it, just try it, and make sure that you reach out to people. There's so many people that have done it before, if you're not sure, that can guide you in that direction. Even if you're just like, listen, I've been doing this for 3 months now. I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yes.
I made money, but I don't know what I'm doing.
Right.
There's always someone, and I'm sure if you call Shalini, she will help you or guide you to what to do next.
Right.
And that's kind of, you know, we all have these ideas of what we want to do, and we know that we have these talents. And that's the thing. You can tap into your talent when you're uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I think that's what people have to understand, is that you might have this idea, but you're scared of failure because you're used to going to a 9 to 5, you know, and you're very secure in that. But it doesn't mean you have to give up your 9 to 5. I haven't given up my 9 to 5.
Not yet. Now we heard the plan, so
I haven't given up my 9 to 5 yet.
She said it on the radio.
Right.
So, but you just have to keep going.
Yeah.
Right? You just don't know, and I didn't know, and the uncomfortability of, oh my gosh, like I'm doing 2 things at once, but it's a joy, right? Because even though I'm so busy now, I don't feel exhausted because it's something that I want to do, and I just want to see where it's going to take me. So take that step. You don't know where it's going to lead you. Just take the first step.
And same.
Mine's a little bit different because I've only really ever knew entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
So I opened up the business when I was 21. I was young. So stepping out of that was more fearful for me because I was like, I am not good at anything else. Like, but I do have to say, I had my dad has a background in hospitality and stuff like that. So I've always loved hospitality and interacting with people and the food industry. And it is scary. It does have its ups and downs, and nobody knew a pandemic was coming. So there's things that are going to that come your way, whether it's staffing or I don't know, plumbing issues or like, you know what I mean? The restaurant industry encapsulates all the different things. You have to learn how to be like HR. You have to be damage control. Like it's a lot of different aspects inside of this. It is scary, but again, if it's something that you love, and it's something that I love, and I have such a soft spot for small businesses, and I just even listening to her is making me excited. Like, I'm like, oh my goodness. And that's my favorite part of this job as well. Is like I do get to meet a lot of people who have these great ideas and who have a passion. They just don't have the space or the platform, and that's what we're trying to provide. Like somebody yesterday told me I had a small business mindset, and I need to get out of that, and I was just like, why? What? Why would I? Like, I love my small business mindset. Like it just because it's a small business mindset doesn't mean it's a small and narrow mindset. Yeah. Right? Like it makes you, I feel, more compassionate, and it helps you see things from other perspectives. Yeah. Because you're working on a different playing field than people who's doing 9 to 5 jobs. So I would say do it. It's something that, like, again, if it's something that you're passionate about, don't hide your passion.
Yeah. The worst thing is to not try, because then you never know, right? You'd be like, what if? Or you see somebody else do it, and you'd be like, damn it, I should have done it.
So much you went to cafe. I'm like, well, I had a cafe.
I know, right? She's like, but listen, I think it's the journey, like you said, right? Yes. And I think BEDC is here to support and help in the way that we can. And this is a new program, so we're glad to have you on board to help people like Andresa and other people who are looking and need that support. And I would just add to what you guys have said and say that BEDC does have these resources to help support you. So we know you don't know all the answers. We don't know all the answers either, but I would just encourage people, you can start here. Like, you know, that's our tagline. Bermuda Business starts here because it's free. And then initially, just get some feedback and all of that. And then if you need a kitchen, hello. We have
and ideally
a growing
after
list.
This, we have more kitchens.
Yes, that's the goal, right? It's to get the word out, get people who are interested in kitchens to call you, get kitchens or restaurants to call you, and get signed up on that list, because at the end of the day, everybody wins, right? You're meeting a need, right? Yes. Supply and demand, all that good stuff. Well, ladies, it has been a pleasure. It has been a pleasure speaking with you. Hopefully, people will be inspired by the conversation that we had. People will know that there is a program out there to support those looking for commercial kitchen space. And they will contact you directly, and we'll be ordering up all the food.
Yes, please. Bring it on.
She's going to sell out, too.
I was going to say, she got a 9 to 5 now.
We don't have any more food. It's all gone for the day. That would be great.
And I don't have a cap, so everything is pre-order. So literally, menu comes out Sunday, you order by Sunday, you order by Tuesday. and there is no cap. Don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing, but there's no cap.
Okay.
When you order is when you order, and it's all pre-ordered, and then you pick it up on Saturday. And just as a little plug, I am also looking into delivery, so signing up with Sargasso.
Okay.
Because I want to be able to reach everyone on this island, and it is difficult to get to the kitchen where I'm at Bethel. Because it's out of people's way.
Right.
So people are coming, and sometimes people forget, but it's good to kind of just have
the option.
Yeah.
So
that you can do that. So that's my next little
Okay.
box.
Well done, ladies. We're gonna close this show out with my tagline, right?
Okay.
And what we say is, if you don't mind your business, who will? Right?
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
Who's gonna do it if you don't? Thank you again for joining me, and I wish you both the best.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
You very much, Jamillah.
All right. Thanks for tuning in to Mind Your Business with me, your host, Jamillah Lodge. Tune in next week, Thursday at 4 p.m. because if you don't mind your business, who will? Mind Your Business is brought to you by BEDC. Bermuda Business starts here.